Hey there, YouTube. This is Mr. Budget coming with you with an updated premium Ghostie deck Grand Blue for 2024. So, as I was playing on Discord, as I do, someone asked me for an updated version of this one. Not, or they asked me to do a profile of this deck. They liked the way they was playing. They liked how it saw. Hint, hint, hint. This does not run Night Rose. This is a pure Ghostie pileup. So as always, I used to play Ghosties back in the day, so that's why I like the new Ghostie way how they play. But this is not run Night Rose, does not run History Collection, anything like that. This is pure Ghosties in all of its goodness, with a few new added cards in here. Um, I will say towards the grade zeros of this deck, I am still running the V era Grenache. I have not got my hands on the Ghosty starter, but that is the starter that you want to use for this deck. So once I get there, I'll mention it again. But Grenache is not what you want to use as your V starter anymore. You want the Ghosty name for the reasons of how this deck is played. So we're gonna run through it pretty quickly. Hopefully, we get this video down within 15 minutes or so. And I'll show you towards the end of the video a proper turn around grade 3, what you can do with the deck if you set up properly. So as always, we start off with the 4 boss unit of the deck, which is 4 Beatrice. For those who don't know, her ability is on place Vanguard or Rearguard Soul Blast 1. You may call any card from your drop zone other than her to a Rearguard circle. Constant, all units with Ghostie and her Guardians get 5k shield and the ability to intercept. 5k power, 5k shield, and has the ability to intercept no matter what their grade is. And then when your Rearguard is retired and she sees it, you may counterblast one. You may call a ghost unit with grade less than the unit that was retired. So, for example, if you get rid of a 3, you have access to 2 and below, and so on and so forth, for 1 counterblast. It's not as stipulating as that may sound. You have ways of countercharging within that time frame. That way, you really only need 1 counterblast to do the combo. As always, as a staple, we're running 2 Skull Dragon. Just a really, really big beat stick. It gets plus 2k for every card in your drop zone. You're not allowed to call this from hand to Rearguard Circle, but you can write it. And then our last is our follow-up, or our extender. We run 2 copies of Mighty Rogue Nightstorm. So Nightstorm has the ability of Hollow Generation Break 1. At the end of the battle that he attacked, you may counterblast 1 and call a different rearguard from your drop zone to a circle that he does not occupy. So this does allow you to extend your attacks and get a few more attacks in. So those are all of the grade 3s. We're going to play 8 grade 3s in the deck. Next, we're going to go into the grade 2s. So we play the 1 Jesse the Ghostie. This is one of our counter chargers. Jesse has the ability at the end of the battle that he attacked. When he attacks, he gets plus 5k, and then at the end of the battle, if you have not used his ability yet, you may countercharge 1. So Jesse will swing, retire himself, countercharge 1, beat your skill, counterblast 1, call a grade 1 Ghostie, so on and so forth. So that's one of the ways that you can activate Beatrice's skill constantly in the same battle step. We play 1 Skull Cannoneer for the Denial Griffin play. Generation Break 1 Hollowed. When he is called, you may counterblast 1, retire one of your opponent's rearguards, and then draw a card. So he replaces himself and gets rid of one of your opponent's units. Next, I've been having trouble soul charging before the battle step. So I play the 1 King Serpent. When placed from the drop, when called and placed on a rearguard from the drop zone, you may soul charge 1 and counter charge 1. So this is just another way to get countercharge before the battle step. That way you are primed to do what you need to do and have as much counterblast that you need prior to Jesse's ability. We played 2 copies of the new Ride Fixer, Revolting Frenchie. Revolting Frenchie. So her ability is when she is boosted, you may counter plus 1 and call any card from your drop zone. So she works the same way as Nightstorm. Just she needs to be boosted. So she is a good grade 2 ride target, just to get a little bit more aggro during the early phases of the game. But normally we use it to search out our grade 1 pieces, because those are our extenders and technical pieces that we need, or search out our column bar for our grade 2 ride target. Next, we play 2 copies of our Greed Shade. This is just another way to get things out of the graveyard back to hand. Start piling up cards in the drop zone. That way we're ready to go when we want to go full combo. And then last, we play 4 copies of Pirate Swordsman Columbard. You want to see this as your main ride target. That way you can set up your drop zone for the Beatrice combo once you get to grade 3. So you want to see this card because it can fetch any card out of your deck and then call it back on board. This allows you to, like I said, set up and get everything where it needs to be. So those are all of the grade 2s that we play. As you can see, we do not play any copies of Ghost Ship. You can drop one of the Night Storms for a Ghost Ship if you want. I didn't really see a reason to. My hand really wasn't suffering too much. For the grade 1s, we're playing 4 copies of Damien the Ghostie. For those who don't know, Damien has the same ability as Jesse on Vanguard or Rearguard when placed. You may choose any Ghostie in your deck and put it to the drop zone. So it has to be placed from the hand though to do that ability. Or this deck will be completely toolboxy because you can just keep calling Damien out and keep dumping your deck into your drop zone. But his second ability is similar to Jesse's. At the end of the battle that he attacked, if you did not use his skill before, you may countercharge 1 when he retreats. So again, you have more ways of countercharging in his deck. We do play 4 copies of Dolph the Ghostie. This is one of the only premium decks that really can run a grade 1 PG and not really suffer for it. Dolph, besides having the Ghostie name, has the ability when you ride him, you may draw an additional card and drop a card from your hand. So that way you're not only plussing to your hand and cycling out a card, but you can start prepping your drop zone early. Then, of course, we play 3 copies, of Witch Doctor of Powderbone Negrobone. This is another way to get your Skull Dragons and other things out of your drop zone a little bit more quicker. I was using Pat the Ghostie for this spot, but as the deck has evolved and I've seen how the deck has played out, I need more utility instead of just outright defensive capability. Just need more extenders, things that are just going to help you not having to play from your hand. So we only run 11 grade 1s. Next are the grade 0s of the deck. Our starter right now is Grenache. This will be changed to the new Ghostie starter because we need the Ghostie name. We play the original Grenache. This allows you to countercharge at the end of your turn once you're already in your GB effects. We play 2 copies of Make the Ghostie Brother, Make in Ghostie Family, the V version. This card is very good, a very good utility card. When this unit is called from the drop zone, you may mill the top 2 cards of the deck, and then he gains the red text ability. At the end of the battle that he attacked or boosted an attack, you may retire him and give a unit plus 10k. This allows you your other weaker units like Night Storm or Beatrice to hit a 13k boss unit by making them 21 or 22. So this is a very good card, and it also has the ability that when your Vanguard attacks, if you have 10 or more cards in your drop zone, you may counterblast 1 and call this card out, which he affiliates his own first ability. So not only that he can use his ability when something else calls him out, he can call himself out to use his ability. I was running him at 3. 2 is pretty good. You don't want to run him at 1 because you'll never really see him, but having 2 does help out a lot. And he's a part of that early grade 3 combo. For triggers, we're running 4 Heal Guardians. I was running the Ghostie heals, but they were getting blocked up. They were getting bricked up in my hand early, not being able to use my heal trigger or defend myself early. So I switched over to the Heal Guardians. It's been working out great. Again, it is a less Ghostie name in the deck, but you can live without it. I run 4 Chad the Ghostie. That's our Strive Fodder. We run 4 copies of Wild Sea Banshee. And we run 3 copies of Rough Sea Banshee. This is the reason why I really don't play Ghost Ship, because you have her. She also affiliates your soul and draws you a card, where Ghost Ship affiliates your drop zone and draws you a card. I would rather affiliate my soul because I'm using Beatrice's skill. You need Soul Blast to do so. And we're running the 1 Stokea Over Trigger. Red and blue are nice, but the Stokea Over Trigger has been tried and true for so long, it just works better for the Stokea decks. Okay, so that is the entirety of the deck. I'll go right into the G-Zone, kind of rush through it pretty fast, and then I'll show you that combo. That grade 3 combo. So the G-Zone has not really changed. We run 2 Obadiah, 2 Emperor Obadiah, 1 King Obadiah, just in case we don't have any counterblasts to do anything. We run 1 Bartholomew, 1 Bad Bounty, We run 4 copies of Mardred. These are just our flip fodder for our Emperor, and then if you have to go into Mardred, you have 3 copies of her face up to get 3 units out, and she gains all of those units all those current units power, so she can become really big. This is just another way to, if you go through all of this, you have her as backup, and you've been plussing her ability throughout the entire game. For G Guardians, you run 1 copy of Negranora, 2 copies of Ornina, and 2 Witch Doctor Negro Lily. So I might drop 1 Ornina for a different G Guardian, that one that does not need a counterblast, because I come to see that in early turns, if I don't have any counterblast, I can't really use a full ability of a G Guardian, because the only other one I have that's not counterblast is Negranora, but she is a GB flipper. So I might switch out 1 of the Ornina for something else. But Negro Lily is something that you want to use. This helps you affiliate your Denial Griffin plays. For those who don't know, this deck is a Protect 2 deck. Protect 1 is fine, but your units need to hit, because not a lot of them gain power. So stacking your Protect 2 markers does benefit you in the long run. And because Beatrice gives all her Ghosties the ability to intercept, this works in her favor. Okay? So we're going to jump right into that. Grade 3 combo. So to set this combo up, you're going to need Beatrice and a few cards underneath her as your... Beatrice as your soul. Let me just straighten this out a bit. There we go. You're going to need Skull Dragon, Jesse, Damien, and Mick in the drop zone. You're going to need to figure out a way to get these 4 cards in your drop zone. And you're going to need at least 1 card face up in the damage to affiliate this. So by the time you get to Beatrice, you're going to have at least 1 protect. Right? So the card that you're going to want to... So the way that you're going to want to do this is that you're going to want to use Columbard. Let me just grab Columbard real quick. You're going to want to use Columbard for this combo. Right? So you're going to call Columbard here. Columbard skill is going to counterblast 1. Then you're going to be able to search out. You're going to be able to search out 1 card in your deck, which is going to be King Serpent. Right? Then King Serpent will be placed into the drop zone. King Serpent, then due to Columbard's effect, you're going to call 1 card from your drop zone. The card you're going to call is King Serpent. Oh wait, I apologize. I overstepped a bit. Before you do all of this ability, before you do any of this, you're going to go to your first grade 3 turn. So again, I apologize. You're going to ride Beatrice. Beatrice skill will proc. I completely forgot a step. My apologies. Beatrice skill will proc. You're going to call out your Skull Dragon. I apologize. Then you're going to use Columbard to call King Serpent from the deck. He's already in the... use King Serpent from the deck. Like so. And then give the deck a good shuffle. King Serpent skill will trigger, which will cause the counter... the Soul Charge and Counterblast for this. So you counter charge and then soul charge with the King Serpent. That way you have units on board. You want King Serpent back here for your end turn so that when you go back into when your opponent's turn comes around, you have a unit to kill for the Negro Lily play. That's why you want to have this just sitting back here. Because normally you're going to intercept or you're going to pop this or you're going to attack this or whatever. Well, this just gives you another interceptor, another card to use. But they're probably going to get rid of this, and then that way you have King Serpent back here just sitting ready for the Negro Lady turn. So, this is how you want your grade 3 board to look like. Again, you're going to have a lot more cards in your drop zone because you've been milling the entire time. But just for reason's sake, let's say you have at least 10 cards in your drop zone. Skull Dragon's going to be sitting for additional plus 20k power on top of himself. Then you would swing with Skull Dragon. Skull Dragon's skill at the end of the battle will proc. He'll kill himself. Beatrice will see this. You'll counterblast 1. Superior Call Jesse. Due to Beatrice's skill, Jesse gets plus 5k power. Jesse swings, skills himself, give himself additional plus 5. Now he's 24. Jesse will proc. Counter charge, Beatrice, counter blast. You go right into Damien. Beatrice skill, plus 5. Damien will swing, skill of Damien, retreat. Damien will proc, Beatrice will proc. Then you go right into Mick. Mick skill will proc, milling the top 2 cards, gaining that red text skill. Swing, skill. At the end of the battle, retreat, giving Columbard plus 10. Then you would swing, twin drive, first check, nothing, second check, crit, and power, swing. That is how you want your first grade 3 turn to be played out. By doing that, you're either going to burn through your opponent's hand, or they're going to be left with at least 4 to 5 damage before they, or unless they hit a lot of triggers down the road. That is how your first grade 3 turn will be played, and you did that all with 1 counterblast. You want to try to set that up as quickly as possible if you are going first. That way you can get your opponent into a position where their clapback turn won't be as strong because they will not have a lot of cards in hand to play around with, or they're going to be at the threshold of defeat because you got them to 4 to 5 damage. All you have to do is live through their next turn and then clap back even harder during your first stride turn. And because you're not tied down to the history collection, your first stride turn can be anything like Bartholomew, Bad Bounty, anything that can get you to the win. So that is the full Ghostie pile. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. Try it out. Let me know down in the comments if you try this deck out and you find it interesting. Let me know what changes that you made to the deck. If you made any, what you added, what you took out. Again, I'm always learning. I'm a student of the game too. So just let me know. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you're up to date whenever we drop a video. The summertime is coming, so we should be dropping a lot more as schedules clear up. Putting out a little bit of an announcement out there. We're still looking for an editor. If anyone has the ability to edit or know how to edit, or someone who's looking for an editing job, please hit us in the community tab. I'm always looking. We are growing the channel. The channel has been, we just got maybe 2 new subscribers. We are almost at our 200 mark. We're slowly growing. Just keep grinding with us, guys, and try out new and different things. I will have a deck profile out of a overdressed deck going to premium, so just look forward to that. I'm still trying to figure out how to make that work. Hint, it's a Stoke deck, but we are looking forward to the new overdress set coming out, because I will be doing deck profiles on 2 new ride lines that are coming out for Stoke and Dark States. I'm very interested in those 2 ride lines, so look forward to see what I do with those. But in the time being, this has been Mr. Budget saying keep it cheap, and we will see you here next time.